To all those that feel like, you can slide racial injustice and social inequality under the rug, well, hopefully I can try to change that. So I'm going to give you a story, my perspective, my feelings on the shit I've been through, the injustice that I have seen with my own eyes. And if you like it, you'll pass it on. If you don't, you'll slide it right back under the rug. But several years ago, just so happened to be walking down the street, minding my own business. Had to get out the house, was tired of being in the house, just wanted to get out and walk. Wasn't late, fairly early. It was nighttime. I'm walking, minding my own business in Seguin, Texas, of all places. So I'm walking through my local park on my way back home. I feel a rush of some headlights pull up on my backside. I turn around to see a detective get out the car with his gun drawn, telling me to freeze, don't move, and walk back to him. I questioned why several times as he's yelling and screaming for me to walk back to him, backwards with my hands up. Don't make any sudden movements. I continuously ask him, why am I getting stopped? I was doing nothing wrong other than walking down the street, a public street at that. I get over to the car because I want to do my best to comply and not get shot. He holsters his gun and proceeds to try to jack me up and ask me where my wallet was. I'm wearing basketball shorts, so my wallet's in my shorts. I tell him where my wallet is. He pulls out my identification. Doesn't tell me why I've been pulled over. Nothing. It takes a sergeant or a lieutenant at this point to come and tell me why I've been stopped. Apparently, there was a robbery of some sort where someone stole a car. Somehow, me walking down the street, I fit the description of the person that stole that car. So doing my best to only comply, I knew I had nothing to do with it. I knew I was innocent by all means. So I complied. I gave him my identification. Well, they took my identification, put it in the sergeant's pocket, and then basically, was told to get in the back of the cop car so that we can get this thing straight, even though I had told him several times that I had nothing to do with it. My better judgment would have been to complain and attest to what was going on. But knowing that you're outnumbered and you're black, at that point, all you can do is pretty much comply. I get in the back of the cop car. We ride to the scene of the accident because apparently the stupid son of a bitch ran into a house or something. I don't know for sure. And, millions, not millions, but several people outside. So here I am riding in the back of the cop car while, there are folks outside. And, it gets embarrassing. Not only does it get embarrassing, it starts sinking in that if they persuade or they coax this person to make them believe that I am the person that stole the car, I could be going down. And the realization set in as I was sitting in that cop car. So we get to the scene of where the crime took place. And of course, they have the victim sitting in the car. And so they pull up right next to her. Of course, they do the shine a light thing, but They're not smart enough, so I already see who the lady is. I don't know her. She doesn't know me. She's a Hispanic woman. And so the sergeant or lieutenant that has my identification is out of the car. So he shines the flashlight in my face, so I couldn't see her. I've already seen her anyway. And proceeds to ask her, was that the man, because I could hear him, who took her car? She profoundly tells him no. He was like, ma'am, is that the perpetrator who took your car? She told him no again. He asked her a third time. She told him no, with the addition that the guy that took her car wasn't even black. With the egg on his face and the look on his face like, oh shit. He walked back over there, opened the cop car for me, gave me my identification, and told me I could leave. At the time, I had a buddy I went to high school on the force with. That was on the force. He looks at me, I'll speak to him, he speaks to me, and I just tell him, hey, I hope y'all get him, and walk off. They asked me if I wanted to ride home. I was like, hell no. I'd walk. I walked anyway. I walked back home. I don't need the trouble, because I'd already been in enough trouble with the situation that was already at hand. So if you think this shit don't happen, it happens. It happens to us. And all I want to do is shed light on the situation. Shed light to show why Colin Kaepernick kneeled in the first place. Because had I ran initially, when that car was beating down on the back of my legs and my backside, if I'd have took off running, he would have shot me. No questions asked, just would have shot. Because he had already had his guns drawn and already been angered for some reason. This cop wasn't white, he was Hispanic. That doesn't mean that it wasn't racist. Doesn't mean that it wasn't profiling. Just means he had a hard on to try to get whoever it is that he was going to get. And he didn't care who it was. He was going to be an asshole and not give a shit about my rights or anybody else's rights. So I'm telling you this story, and I'm telling everybody this story to shed light that there is social injustice going on. I'm not $1 million athlete. I'm a guy just trying to get my shit together. Trying to live life for my kids. And hope my kids don't go through the shit that I've gone through. So I'm going to issue a challenge to all my Facebook friends and to everybody else to tell your story. This is a truth challenge, because in order for somebody to see the wrongs that have been committed, we got to shed light on it, and shed light on it all the time. So this is a challenge to anybody. Spread your story. I guarantee you, if we spread enough stories, they're not going to be able to ignore us all. Because I know millions upon millions have been in my situation. And there are those that have died. There are those that have been unjustly incarcerated, stripped of everything, because you fit the description of being black in America. So step up to this challenge.